Welcome back, everyone. A brand new week here today on the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. I'm Dr. Stephen Cabral, founder of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, and excited to be able to go over some hopefully unique information that's absolutely contextualized for our health and wellness-based industry. So as I always say, this can be used by personal trainers, yoga instructors, health coaches, our IHPs, chiropractors, doctors, whoever you might be, anybody in the health and wellness-based service industry, because that is ultimately what we're trying to provide, right? We're trying to provide a great service to clients out there that need our help. Now, there are different ways to look at this. So there are ways to look at it in terms of you provide one-on-one coaching or one-on-one in-person and virtual. You might have a course, you might have a product, you might bundle your coaching services with some type of product. So for example, a lot of our IHPs do health and wellness coaching, but it might even start as running a functional medicine detox group for 21 days or so. And they do that through a private Facebook group course, which we teach too. So all of those things are amazing things to do. However you want to look at it is fantastic. What I want to do though today is actually share with you an overall philosophy, no matter what your business is. And, you know, it isn't like the nicest tagline to start with, but you want to be sometimes the dumbest person in the room. And again, I mean that with all due respect, but this is really where overall business and mindset growth happens, is understanding that if you are always surrounding yourself with people that are below you or beneath you only in terms of, again, experience. It doesn't mean they're, beneath you in terms of society or class or anything like that. It's not about that. But it's like, okay, let's say that you are an instructor in a group, let's say of personal trainers. Like I had managers at my studio that was personal training manager. Okay. When he hires new people, they maybe have a year or 2 or 3 years experience. And this person has 10 years experience and they have their CSCS, they've got their, CPT by NASM, whatever it might be. They're going to have more experience, right? So if they're always hanging around people that are the new hires that are new to the industry and don't have as much experience, they of course have more experience than that individual. So in that group, then they are the smartest person in terms of personal training intelligence. Again, I'm not saying overall intelligence, but personal training intelligence. Why does that matter? Here's the thing. If that instructor at that personal training studio or that manager wants to grow, they're not going to do it by constantly teaching their new people. Now, again, most people, that is the way that work works, right? So if you are building a team, or you're starting a company, whatever it might be, or you have one, you're kind of leading from the top. Now, I do something a little bit different. I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. But what I want you to think about is this. Let's say you're trying to become a better personal trainer or a better health coach or a better manager or a better chiropractor or whatever it might be. What you need to do is you need to understand that you need to put yourself in position where you are the least intelligent, least experienced person in that room. That is why outside seminars, events, coaching, masterminds all matter. Because when you are, as they say, the dumbest person in the room, you learn real fast. Because most of us don't like to say, wow, I'm really far behind in terms of my peers around me. And so when you realize that, you start to what? You level up your game. Because I want to share just a story with you right now. So think about this. I had always been working in this health and wellness industry since like somewhere around like 1997 for all the very young people out there right now. And so I was in undergrad and I was working as a nutritionist. I was working as a personal trainer. It was not only did I love it, I got me a free gym membership, which was amazing. And also it helped me pay for books for college, and I was gaining experience, but I was doing what I loved. I mean, even back then, I loved that. And so the interesting thing was this. I've done that. I've hired over 100 different personal trainers. I've taught well over 500 to 600 different studios and wellness centers and health spas, et cetera, all those different things for the different systems. But I had never really brought anything online. So I'd never done a lot of the online coaching courses, products, etc. I had a wellness center, of course, and the wellness center I had my functional medicine detox, I had all these things, and they were really working well for people around Boston, Massachusetts. And yes, of course, people would ship things to relatives and things like that, but that wasn't really me. So I decided somewhere around 2017 that I was going to join a group and learn more about how do I reach more people with what I know already works. I mean, we had done well over 250,000 client appointments. We had thousands of people running through all our different protocols. We continued to tweak them, make them even better, and we wanted to get them out to the world. So I said, listen, I'm going to teach people online through free podcast and free everything. And then if they decide that they want to work with us, great. Then I want to be able to get these things out to them. So I joined a group. And when I went to this group, there was probably somewhere around 40 to 50 people in the group. And I was for sure the dumbest person in that room when it came to online business-based building. I didn't, I had a basis, but nothing at all like what these people were doing. I was running 2 offline locations, doing about, I don't even know how many, like let's say 20,000 appointments a year. We had Ayurvedic-based practices, we had nutrition, we had functional medicine, we had personal training, we had massage, Ayurvedic-based massage, we had sauna. It was a big wellness center. All of that was great. But what I hadn't done before was what all these people were doing. And so when I went in there and people were sharing the success that they had at reaching more people, the revenue that they were generating, all these different things, it's like, wow, that's really impressive. And I asked a lot of questions. I wasn't afraid to say, listen, I have no idea what you're talking right now. It's like a different language. Teach me like what you're doing. What is the software that you use? What is the different checkout process? All these things. Because again, I knew for sure that I wasn't going to be the one implementing these things, but I had to know in order to be able to then share that information with a team that I would build to then help me. Because again, that's not my strong suit. My strong suit is teaching, or at least I feel my personal skills and passion is in teaching, formulating, creating, leading the team rather than actually being able to do those particular things. That's not necessarily the best skill set of mine. So what happened though, over the next year, we very quickly built an online based portion of what we do at Equalife. And that continued to grow and grow, so much so, believe it or not, that within just 2 years, I had already outgrown that group. And I don't say that by any means from an ego-based perspective. It's just, I came into that group knowing nothing compared to these other individuals. I asked a lot of questions. I knew where I wanted to take things. I knew the amount of people that I wanted to reach. And I knew that I had to get around people that already knew how to do these things. And now, although this group maybe I outgrew, that doesn't mean that there's other groups out there that I want to connect with so I can say, oh, wow, this is even possible. Because I actually keep in touch with the person that led that mastermind group. And I said to them, I said, listen, I want you to know that what I offered was radically different, like in terms of products and services, than the people in your group. However, what I want to share with you is that your group opened up my mind to what's even possible. I actually didn't even know that what your members were doing were possible. And I said the greatest thing, besides all the connections that I made and the great people and what software to use or whatever that might be, I said it was the actual mindset that this is even possible, that this can happen. And so for me now, I still don't even know what's possible at a different level. And that's why I share with you that joining these groups, being a part of a mastermind, getting a coach, even something like business mentorship experience, all these things help to shape your mind that, oh, wow, someone else has already done this. That means if someone else has already done it, it's possible. Because we're all really just individuals. I mean, we honestly, sure, people have skill sets in certain areas, but as I just shared with you, you play to your strong suits and you essentially try to delegate what aren't, right? If you're not great at customer service, answering emails, paperwork, etc., which I'm not, then you hire someone. Even when I was first starting out in one of my first locations in 2007, I actually hired someone for just 3 hours a week. They were just a college student, 3 hours a week. I don't even know what the pay was back then, but I paid them. And they filed away all of my nutrition programs, workout programs, invoices, paperwork, everything. They did all of that. Then they eventually, I could trust them, and then they started to input different invoices and these things, and it was incredible. So what did I do during that time? I said, okay, well, I have to pay this person. I just worked an extra hour. Like literally 1 hour of my time was then that could be paid for like 3 to 5 hours of their time. And I was like, oh, I get to do more of what I love and less of what I don't. And I can also offer a job to someone else who wants a job. And so it was like really, really great. And here's the thing. I'm just going to give you a couple more examples because maybe this isn't connecting exactly with you. But think about this. You don't want to go to the gym where you're necessarily the most fit person. Like think about that as well. If you've got goals to take your physique to the next level, what do you want to do? Go to a gym where people are in the shape that you may want to attain. Right? It might be a specialty boutique type gym, studio, etc. Also, continue education. Just even sign yourself up for a course that's going to expose you to information that you maybe didn't even know that you could use with your clients. I've already spoken about this before, but if you're not able to be a part of like a mastermind or a coaching group, look for an event. An event will get you around a couple hundred other people that will be doing things that again, you didn't even know like existed, that you didn't even know were possible. So it expands the mind. Now, at some point, all of this is going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, right? Go to a gym where you're not the fittest person. Go into an event where maybe you don't have the same experience. Being a part of a mastermind group where you're the least knowledgeable, experienced person there, right? Maybe making the least amount of revenue online specifically. I knew that was the process for me 6-7 years ago or so. So here's the thing though. Now when you begin, so does the process. So you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like that's the biggest thing I can share with you. So many of us don't move forward in our potential and our ability to help other people because we're not willing to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable doesn't feel good. I'm not going to, lie or sugarcoat you like, wow, this is awkward. I don't have a lot to offer. Sometimes you feel that way to other people in these groups or whatever it might be. That's okay. You're offering your time. You're letting them share with you their successes. And one day you will. Like one day you will. And that's how you have to have that mindset going into it. So again, be comfortable, right? Getting uncomfortable. This is where all the magic and the growth happens. You need to expose yourself to new ideas, new thought processes, and honestly, the systems that have already been done that you're able to then replicate. I always tell that to people in the health-based field. There's not really a need to create a new CBO protocol, para-support protocol, heavy metal detox, etc. Like if you don't have experience in that, I don't understand why you wouldn't use the research proven things through great functional medicine-based companies. Like they're already done. Like that, even just not even health coaches, just clients out there. Like, why are you trying to figure it out on your own? Like people have spent tens of thousands of hours in their career, like literally tens of thousands of hours. And it's not possible to replicate that unless you have 20 years experience. You can't shortcut it in one article or one video on Google. It doesn't work that way. So it's like you get around the people that have all this experience. And then you're using their protocol, their system, just like I did with online. But then afterwards, after you get experience, after you put it to the test, that's when you can tweak it. That's when you can make it your own. And there's no rush to get there, because the thing is, you can have success by actually using someone else's blueprint. And so if it's one of the biggest things that I can share with you here today, there's actually three main ones. It's one, don't reinvent the wheel. Not in the beginning, right? Not in the beginning. Make it a better wheel maybe eventually, but in the beginning, don't reinvent it. Second is get uncomfortable, right? Or get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get around where the people that you don't have the much experience as, that you don't even understand how their businesses work, or that you need to get more media-based training to get in front of more people. You might be uncomfortable with public speaking. Okay, join a free local Toastmasters. Like join any of these groups that just get you a little bit more comfortable, right? And be uncomfortable in that space for a little while, because you know if you're in that space, growth is going to happen. You can't. You see people in these groups, they inspire you. You want to be more like them. That is normal. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be them. More like what they are displaying in terms of attributes. And the last part goes back to the Napoleon Hill-based quote, but it isn't just him, right? It's a lot of people that have said this. You are the sum of the 5 people that you are around the most, or that you spend the most time with. Excuse me. So think about it this way. Like if you want to get in shape, best shape of your life, hang around people that are in phenomenal shape, right? If you want to get healthy, hang around healthy people. They eat differently, they exercise differently, they go to sleep earlier, like they do healthy things, right? So be a part of that group. If you want to expand your business, well, be around people in a coaching group or connect with people, go to events, meet people that are successful in what they do in business and reaching people and providing a phenomenal service. Because if you hang out with those people enough, lo and behold, you become one of those people. And the same is also true. So be very guarded with your time and your energy, and use that obviously for good. So hopefully today's podcast was helpful. We always love hearing from you. So let us know your feedback. Let us know what new shows you'd like us to speak on. And we will keep producing those shows every single week. On Mondays, hopefully tactical-based information. On Thursdays, you get a one-on-one interview with a real-world practitioner doing it, making it happen, and is successful, and hopefully you can learn from them too. That's part of that group, right? So part of the IHP community. The IHP community is somewhere that you can really learn from, grow with, and then even give back to others as well. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you. I thank you, and we'll talk with you soon.